beautiful people, welcome back to Funnelheads. Today we're going to be discussing Carnival Cruise Line's Onboard Credit, or OBC for short. We'll kind of go through, tell you what it is, how you can receive it, and lastly, some of the better uses for it. But first, if you're new to the channel or returning and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so, becoming part of that Funnelhead family. We'd love to have you. Also, commenting and liking on the video is much appreciated and does truly help the channel grow, so thank you so much for doing that. But let's get right into the video. Now, what is an onboard credit, or OBC? And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's basically a credit applied to your Sail and Sign account that you can use for the duration of your entire cruise. Now, this is a use it or lose it type credit, so if you have any credit left remaining by the end of the cruise, unfortunately you are going to lose out on that credit. You can't transfer it to another cruise or anything like that. Now, you may be thinking, that sounds great, how do I get some of this onboard credit? And there's many ways that you can get this. We won't list them all, but we will give you, some of the most popular ways, and that's number one is going to be the price match guarantee. Now, let's say you book a cruise in advance, 6 months from now, you book it at a certain price. Well, Carnival has a price match guarantee. So if you fully pay for your cruise and the price goes down on that cruise, you can call, and instead of giving you, the refund back, the difference back, they will actually give you some onboard credit for the difference. So let's say, just easy numbers, you booked it for $1,000. 3 months from now, it went down to $800. You call, say, hey, I see the price of this, it went down, and they will give you $200 of onboard credit for that cruise. Now, number two is going to be any sales, whether it's through Carnival or a third-party website, but typically they'll have some type of incentive for onboard credit, whether it's just $50 per stateroom or a little bit more than that. Now, number three is one that not a lot of people know, especially newer cruisers or first-time cruisers, but if you own Carnival Cruise Line stock, you can actually get what's called a shareholder credit, and in turn, it's basically onboard credit for your cruise. Now, the shareholder credit is determined by the length of cruise, and I did a whole video on this, so if you want to learn more about this shareholder credit, I will link that video right in the description box. But feel free, if you have any questions, you can comment on that video or here, and I'll answer them, of course. Now, the last way to get OBC that we're going to discuss here today, and nobody likes discussing about, is canceled cruises. Specifically, we'll talk about, obviously the last 2 years with the whole pandemic happening, and that is a lot of people have OBC because of those canceled cruises. Now, of course, if you had a cruise up to 7 days, you would get $300 in OBC, and anything 8 days or over, you would actually get $600 in OBC. So that's how a lot of people have amassed a large amount of onboard credit in these past 2 years. I know we have specifically. So now that you have some onboard credit, let's discuss some of the better ways to use it. But first, let's touch on 2 ways, in my opinion, that you shouldn't use it. And number one is the Cheers package. Now, we're big fans of the Cheer package, and we typically get it on each cruise. However, I wouldn't use my OBC on that because right now there's not a way to use onboard credit before your cruise. And if you book the Cheers package before your cruise, you actually get a 10% discount on that, and you don't have to wait in line in order to purchase the Cheers package once you get on the ship. So it's just a better way, if you can afford it, beforehand, that's the best way to do that Cheers package. Another way that I suggest not using the onboard credit is for shore excursions. And the only real reason I suggest not using it for shore excursions is that if you wait until you're on the ship to book your shore excursions, typically all the really great ones that you wanted to do are already going to be sold out because everybody did, the shore excursion purchasing, online before your cruise. So you don't want to miss out on those unless it's one that is, like the beach or something like that, or shopping that, there's many tours to choose from. But if it's something that's, a little bit more exciting or limited, definitely don't wait until you're on the ship to book those. Now here are some of the better ways to use your onboard credit. Of course, this is not every single way you can use your credit, but in our opinion, these are some of the better ways to do so. And we'll start off with the retail stores. Now, people a lot of times think, retail, souvenir shops, and you can absolutely use that credit in the souvenir shop, for yourself or for other people back at home. However, if you're going on a Carnival cruise line, typically, especially on the newer ships, they're going to have a ton of retail stores that you can shop from, whether it's buying, some new cologne, perfume, jewelry, purses, liquor stores, cigars, just to name a few. So you absolutely have many ways to spend that credit at retail stores on the ship. Now, some of the additional ways to spend this credit is at the spa, whether it's a thermal day pass, massage, facial, nails, hair, whatever you want to do, you can absolutely book an appointment once you get on the ship. Other ways to spend is at the casino, whether it's cards, slots, tournaments, anything like that, you can use the credit for, absolutely. Another way, a great way, is for tips, specifically for bartenders or bar runners. The guys and girls on the Lido deck that are running all over the place, up and down, flights of stairs in order to get your beverage to you as quick as possible. And lastly, another great way is specialty restaurants. Just to name, a couple would be the Steakhouse or the Bonsai Sushi, which I highly recommend both. Now again, this is not every way you can spend your credit. Of course, it's your credit, spend it however you want, but this is just some suggestions on our personal opinion, the best ways to spend. If you have any questions, absolutely comment down in the section below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But hopefully I'll see you right back here in the next video or on a cruise ship one day. Catch you later.